Sally here, and today we're going to explore a powerful idea that can change the way you attract women, especially as you get older. And you know what's most interesting? It has nothing to do with money, it has nothing to do with looks, and it definitely has nothing to do with those cheesy pickup lines you find all over the internet. The truth is, these two words activate something much deeper in the female brain, something that triggers emotional connection points that most men don't even know exist. And look, I'm going to tell you exactly what these words are. I'll explain the science behind it. But there's a detail that almost no one notices. And it's exactly this detail that separates the men women forget from the men they can't stop thinking about. Stay with me until the end, because this information can completely change the way you communicate. Let me tell you something. For years, I've studied thousands of interactions between men and women. And you know what I realized? The men who attract the most aren't necessarily the best looking. They aren't the richest. They are the ones who master one very simple thing: direct emotional communication. While most men are spinning their wheels in empty conversations, trying to please, trying not to offend, the men who really stand out do something radically different. They use two words that act like master keys to the female subconscious. You see, the human brain is hardwired to respond to certain communication patterns, and these two words, when used the right way, create what we call positive emotional anchoring. So let's go. The first word is I want. It sounds too simple, right? But listen to what happens when a man says I want with clarity and confidence. First, he is taking responsibility for his own desires. He's not asking for permission. He's not testing the waters. He is being direct. And here's a secret of female psychology. Women are attracted to men who know what they want. Why? Because it signals leadership. It signals that you are capable of making decisions, that you won't dump the responsibility of choosing onto her shoulders. Think about it with me. When you say, I don't know, maybe we could do something later if you want. What are you communicating? Insecurity, fear of rejection, lack of direction. Now compare that with, I want to take you out to dinner on Saturday. I know an incredible place. Feel the difference. You aren't begging. You are leading. You are creating an experience. And look, this isn't about being aggressive. It's about being assertive. It's about having the courage to take up space in the world and say, this is what I want. When you do this, you activate something in her brain called sexual polarity. You position yourself as the masculine force that takes initiative and that naturally awakens the feminine side that wants to be led. The second word, and this is the one that changes everything, is I appreciate. Now pay attention, because this is where the magic really happens. If you only use I want, you can seem egocentric. It might seem like you are only interested in taking something from the interaction. But when you combine I want with I appreciate, you create a perfect balance. You show that you are a man of initiative, but also a man of emotional depth. Let me give you a concrete example. Imagine you are talking to a woman you are interested in. Instead of just saying, I want to see you again, you say, I want to see you again because I really appreciate the way you think. Conversation with you has a depth that is rare. Do you see what happened? You aren't just expressing desire. You are showing that you see her, that you value who she is as a person, and that, my friend, is absolutely irresistible. Why? Because most men only compliment appearance. They only focus on the physical. But you are going further. You are acknowledging her essence. And here is the most beautiful part. When you appreciate genuinely, you aren't needing her, you are choosing her. And women can feel that difference from miles away. If this content is making sense to you, leave a like down below. This shows me that you are really committed to leveling up. Now let me tell you about the mistake that destroys all of this. The mistake is using these words without congruence. Do you know what congruence is? It's when your body language, your tone of voice, and your words are all aligned. If you say, I want to take you to dinner, but your shoulders are slumped, you are looking at the floor and your voice is hesitant, the message doesn't get through. Your body is screaming insecurity while your words are trying to project confidence. And the female brain is extremely sensitive to these incongruities. It's like an emotional lie detector. So when you say I want, you need to be standing tall, looking her in the eyes with your chest open. When you say I appreciate, you need to pause, slow down the rhythm of your speech, and let the sincerity show through. It is exactly about this depth that I detail in my complete guide, Attraction Secrets. There I teach not only what to say, but how to calibrate your energy, your presence, so that every word that comes out of your mouth carries real emotional weight. And there is one more crucial thing, timing. Look, you clear's throat aren't going to go around saying I want and I appreciate in every conversation like a robot. That would be weird. You use these words in strategic moments when you really want to establish intent, when you want to create an emotional memory, for example, at the end of a date that was special. You look in her eyes and say, I want to do this again. I really appreciate the energy you bring. Done. You just created a positive emotional anchor. Now, every time she thinks of you, she'll remember that sensation of being seen, valued, and desired all at the same time. If you want to dive deeper into this, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell. Every week I bring content like this that will give you an unfair advantage in the attraction game. Now you have the tools. Use them with wisdom, use them with integrity, and remember, you don't need to be perfect. You just need to be real. See you next time.